Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to Celebrity Natal Charts. Today, we are going to be looking at the natal chart of Prince Henry, Duke of Sussex, which is like one of Diana Ross's sons, I believe. Princess Diana's son, I believe. He has a son in Virgo. The ascendant Capricorn, so this is the Virgo rising Capricorn video. Welcome, grab a beverage. We're going to be talking about him for a minute, maybe not too long. I'm looking at a different website because on Astro Theme, I think it's like easier for me to find like specific Virgo rising that. They do have bios on there, but I don't want to read it anymore. So, I mean, and then maybe I'll go back to it and looking up their, maybe I'll do that in a second. But he's Prince Henry, he's Princess Diana's daughter from the Supremes, the rock band. No, he's Princess Diana's son. And he's like the prince. I think he's married to like Meghan Markle. He's like on TV, or if he's not, his brother is. He has a brother, I think is bald, and he has like red hair. And there's like a lot of discrepancies whether like who his actual father is. And Prince Harry, I think I called him Henry. Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex. He is 6'1", he's super tall. Let's just get into the chart. He's a wood rat. I talk a lot about the rat. He's a birth path of 1. Maybe I'll read a biography, I don't know. So he's got Capricorn in the first house. That means he sort of looks like a Capricorn. What does that mean to look like a Capricorn? Like very business orientated, looks great in a suit. I think he does. Gets a lot of self-esteem from his father, or a lot of self-esteem, or also a lot of abuse from his father. With Capricorn in the first house, so an abusive father. Also, I guess it's like, somebody's complaining to you, and they're like, "Oh, my dad used to spank me with a belt," and he's like, "Oh, my dad hit me with a brick." You know what I mean? Like, I'm stronger because of the abuse that I endured from my father's side of the family. Or, his grandmother hiring paparazzi to run his mother off the road or whatever happened to her. The second house in Aquarius, which says that his highest priority should be friends and friendship and humanitarian efforts. He is, like a royal, so I could see how that would align. In his third house, he has Pisces, meaning that he likes to talk about God and spirituality and compassion and love and Jesus Christ. He has a fourth house in Aries. So fourth house in Aries plus the third house in Pisces, it does kind of talk about like growing up in London, England, somewhere ecclesiastical where you're in between like churches, the government. It's a city, the Aries, like, hey, I'm walking here, get out of my way. There's also a spiritual connection to it. There's a very deep spiritual connection to people's belief in the English royal family and Protestants and Catholics and things like that. So his childhood environment was very spiritual. His home environment very aggressive. Then it might be like threatening each other all day. Like, you turn off the cameras in front of the royals. They're like, I want to stab you with a fork. And you turn the cameras back on. We all love each other. Or threatening to drink each other and usurp each other's throne or title or whatever. I don't know how monarchies work. His fifth house is in Taurus. It says that his biggest sexy distraction is like daily money, like a resource of money, which you'd think they're the wealthiest land-owning family or something in England. They would have a lot of it. But like country folk, maybe he's like very turned on by like, Jim Bob and Peggy Sue, and it's sort of a distraction because it's, not really around that so much. Like Jim Bob, Jethro, Peggy, I don't know like English country names, but like that equivalent over there. Country folk. And then he has a sixth house in Gemini. So the way that he gets over his fear of country mice, and like I can see that like villains, like people not from the city, like people who aren't from the castle, cause challenges to him, and maybe he likes more pedestrian type people. But how he gets over that is Gemini, which is like sort of like being attractive, being athletic, being very well spoken. So he might like to go to the pool hall and get involved with the wrong crowd, but from this posh accent, they're like, we know who you are, or who you're around, or who you're trying to be. Um, his work life, his health. So like if he's sick, he could probably like talk himself out of sickness. His job, I guess he should be some type of speaker. I don't think I've ever heard him give a speech before. But I'm sure in his old age, trying to make money, I'm sure I could see like a TED talk or something coming away from him. In his seventh house, he has Cancer, saying that his best partner would be some type of sun Cancer, a rising Cancer lover, loving, nurturing person. Probably reminds him a lot of his mother, who I believe has a Cancer sun sign. Diana Ross, Aries, Princess Diana, Cancer. Um, both of his mothers. And then his eighth house, he has Leo, which says to me that so in combination with the Taurus being a fear and the eighth house in Leo, it's almost like he doesn't like it's it's kind of weird, I guess, to be like religious and then to also be royal because like are we taking attention away from God? Are we giving attention to God? Like what is going on? So there's a lot of like spiritual ambiguity illustrated in his chart where it's like he doesn't want to be a beetle and be like I'm bigger than Jesus. Whereas like maybe currently within England, Jesus doesn't have a lot of fans, maybe. And then his ninth house, he has Virgo. So that means like very conservative upbringing, very conservative education. Probably likes to travel to posh places like the United States, Canada, other European cities. Um, is very persistent with his education, so maybe school was a struggle for him and he just kept at it. He has a 10th house in Libra, which says that he'll be most known for his relationships, but maybe like most known for his relationships to other people, like his relationship to his mother, his relationship to his father, his relationship to his brother, to whomever he marries. It's sort of like his career and destiny, maybe to be like a wedding officiator, like the guy that talks at weddings, the priest guy, the for better for worse, richer for poor, that guy. And we also have some planets here. Hold on, let me backtrack. I'm sorry, I forgot about the planets. Oh my god, let's go back. Let's go back. Sorry, Prince. Sorry, Prince Harry. So Prince Harry has a moon in Taurus as well. If you dial it back to his fifth house of sexy distractions. So fifth house of sexy distractions, maybe he sort of likes how Arab men or women look, or maybe he likes like Italian men or women, which is maybe like not so great for him for some reason because English people and racism and monarchies. But he also has the moon there. So moon in Taurus actually is this thing about like emotional eating. So I've always known him to be pretty fit. Maybe it's because he has some type of astrological celestial knowledge. It's like, yeah, moon in Taurus. Weight is going to be an issue for you. Emotional eating. And then we dial it forward to back to his ninth house of Virgo, where he also has his sun, because he's a sun in Virgo. This is the Virgo rising Capricorn video, so of course his sun is in Virgo. And also has Mercury in Virgo, so it's very powerful. He's a very good speaker. People love an English accent. Maybe he'll start recording, Audible or something and making buttloads of money off of that. Who wouldn't want Prince Harry to read them a bedtime story? Uh, Mercury, as you know, is Virgo's ruling planet, so it's very exalted in this position. He speaks from the soul. Maybe he's a little too honest. Maybe he speaks from the soul and the heart, but he also has some type of like divine message. It is his destiny to be married and as a prince, as a princess, like it is your destiny to like get married and further the crown and such. Where he also has the planet Venus, which is Libra's ruling planet, so he'll probably be very successful at that and very successful in relationships. He has an 11th house in Scorpio. The 11th house in Scorpio talks about these friends that are so needy. You might have like a lot of dark underbelly mafia type friends. That sort of with I think he also has Saturn and Pluto. Pluto being Scorpio's rising planet. In his 11th house of friendship and technology. So, probably talks to seedy underbelly people with his phone with the help of like technology and things like that. Probably has like two phones or something. But so dial it back, the fifth house, Taurus, moon in Taurus. emotional eating, it is a setback. So like, maybe having to focus so much on his weight he doesn't find to be attractive within himself. He's like, I can't eat that. You know what I mean? Like calories or something. Like maybe he counts his calories. But it is also an obstacle. How he gets over that is from being an athletic Gemini, which is his sixth house. And we dialed forward. I know, keep it together. We dialed forward back to his 11th house with the 11th house in Scorpio. It sort of says that like his emotional ties to his friends present limitations for him. But I always think of like Saturn as like the beauty of limitations. Like you're trying to build a house, you're trying to build a castle, and maybe it's like a Sears Roebuck's castle, and like it's all propped up the same everywhere. But where you're gonna prop up your Sears Roebuck's home or your Sears Roebuck's castle, there's like a mountain and a lake and a river, and you have to be like creative and smart to get that to fit into the right pieces, if that makes sense. So it's like, Jim down the street, he just props up his house. You have to prop up your house over a river and a mountain, which causes, limitations, but also innovation. So that's his 11th house. Probably has like a lot of good Scorpio best friends um, that are probably not like PC or palatable for television or the news or whatever. Has a lot of secret friends. And then, as we're talking about secrets in his 12th house, he has the planet of Neptune, Uranus, Mars, um, and that's it, I believe. Um, so, what does this say? This says that Mars, he acts like a Sagittarius, he's very competitive. Um, Whoever got him on TV, probably some type of cameraman or what do you call it, paparazzi, was probably helped him boost him to fame and make his name of note. Uranus, so like I guess in the sense of running an empire, his competitiveness and aggression like knocks down boundaries from him and makes his life boundless. And just to circle back, because I was not paying attention to the planets at all, we did not read a bio for him. We did not read his Chinese zodiac sign. I mean, he's Prince Harry. What else I got to do for him for free? Read his natal chart accurately. So he, much like Justin Bieber and Adam Levine and a couple other people, have Jupiter in the first house, which means that like he's very lucky and fortunate for the way he looks. I think that his brother is very handsome, but I think like out of the two, he's like the cute one. And I think that's exemplified by Jupiter, and he's very lucky and handsome, and he is the Prince of Wales. What kind of beverage did you guys get? Is that all I want to say about Prince Harry? I mean, like Prince Harry, Illuminati, like you guys are watching stuff on YouTube. Prince Harry, Illuminati, the English royal family, scary as hell. Um, but that's him. I guess I don't really see anything in his chart that talks about his mother too much. He has a fourth house in Aries. Maybe he had some like strong, angry feelings towards her, especially as like throughout his life there's ambiguity about who his father is. His father may be abusive in some ways or shapes or forms, or like just the way that people used to raise children 30 years ago was just abusive. I don't really know if he's married. I think he is, maybe to Kate Middleton, I want to say. I don't know her sign. She looks like she could be a Cancer. I have Cancer in her chart or Libra. Um, but yeah, that's I thought it was gonna be so much more exciting. Maybe if I would have read the bio or something. But that's Prince Harry. He's neat. He's a Virgo. He's rising Capricorn. He's gonna do great at business, and he's gonna do amazing things to further the English crown and empire. So thank you so much for listening, liking, sharing, and subscribing, and tagging your best friend who is a Virgo rising Capricorn, so you can let them know that is their destiny to get married if they're feeling scared about that not happening, and how cool they are, and how royal and princely they are, and close to Prince Harry, and how they'll grow up one day to be just like him. Okay. All right. I will hopefully see you in my next video. Bye.